Hello Commanders, Cmdr Plater here with this week's exploration update. Here you can see me in front of a black hole. This is a mini nebula around about 20,000 light years away from the bubble. Now, on the question of how close you can get to a black hole, this is around, well, until your heat starts going up, this is around 25 kilometers, which is pretty close. After my last video, someone mentioned to me that actually I can get a bit closer, so I figured I'd give it a go, and I got some footage for you guys. Obviously, one of the reasons why I came here is because it's in the mini nebula. It's a black hole in the middle of it, and it's got this really strange, light bending effect all around it, with that real nice purple glow. But I thought this was worth sharing. In this week's video, we're going to be looking at twins, rings, and some other stuff as well. Twin planets, twin stars, rings on random things, that type of thing. Also, I've got a bit of an oddly shaped planet in there as well, so hopefully you guys will find this one interesting. So as mentioned, at the time of posting this video, I am around maybe 2,500 light years away from Sagittarius A now, so I'm getting really close, and you should be able to tell by the galactic backdrop that it's getting denser and denser, more orange in there from the light of all the stars, and definitely it's getting I guess kind of more interesting to look at the background, and with my jumps and stuff, you can almost see the star you're actually aiming for, which is a bit of an odd one. Obviously I could have spent some time planning my journey using bookmarks, but I tend to just, as I say, do my 1,000 light years at a time and then kind of go from there. Okay, so this is the first planet of interest I've had, I guess. This is like an Ammonia water world, and just a little bit of a flyby on it. And I suppose the visual effects on the water-based planets are starting to grow on me. I just don't think they're perfect yet, but definitely growing on me. Here we have an Ammonia world. Now, this is the first one I've actually come across. I didn't realise that when it comes to exploration, they're actually worth as much as Earth worlds, Earth-likes, which is pretty interesting. You can just imagine how inhospitable it would be to human life. That kind of nasty, greeny, brown, toxic air. The smell of it alone would be absolutely awful. But I'm kind of unsure of why these would be worth so much exploration-wise, because it's not suitable for human life. Possible for terraforming, I guess. But it's something worth thinking about, I guess. But yeah, so I've got some footage of this one here. Definitely an interesting world. You can see it does have polar ice caps. Something I do find odd is that a lot of the planets that I come across, which are Earth-likes or the Ammonia Worlds, I've got another one in here somewhere, and they don't have moons, which I find to be rather odd, because the purpose of a moon, or the purpose of a moon serves to a planet, is it stabilises its orbital rotation. For example, with Earth, the moon's tidally locked with it. It keeps us on that same angle. It stops us from wobbling erratically and having insane seasons, and it helps the regular seasons and life in general. So that's kind of something that I was thinking about, where a lot of these planets don't have that, and if they don't, then their tides must be massively out of control, or they don't have any. I might be wrong. If I am, do leave me a comment. I'd like to know more. I do find this type of stuff interesting, and certainly I'm not saying I'm right. I'd definitely love to learn. And this is kind of my final goodbye to the my first Ammonia world, as I fly away, getting ready to go on to the next system. Now here we have a water-based world with an ammonia atmosphere, and this has got rings around it, which is quite a surprise to see, because you don't see them very often, I guess. Well, I certainly haven't, and as I said, I've travelled over 20,000 light years now, and I'm still seeing new things I haven't seen before, which I suppose would be the nature of the galaxy. But I thought it was really interesting that the way the rings kind of complement the colour of the planet, very similar hue, almost as if someone looked at this and went, yeah, that colour palette matches, when in reality they could be all completely different random colours, random stuff going on, especially in the rings, depending on their composite. But typically, I suppose the rings would contain the same kind of things the planet was made of, as typically their leftovers. Now, here we've got just a twin binary system. I do love how these look, especially when the stars are so close to each other. And you've got a brown dwarf, and this is actually a red dwarf star. and just thought I'd fly by them. I've got another flyby later on, which is one that's a little bit more stressful, to be honest, but we'll go into that when we get there. So next up, here we have a kind of an odd shaped gas giant, and there's no kind of compression or scaling on this. This is just a non-spherical gas giant, which I wouldn't expect to see. I've not come across one yet. You know, especially if you look at our own Saturn, it's spherical. I mean, at least from most angles, it looks spherical. But this one here is not spherical, and it does actually have water-based life. And they say in the layer, there's like a water vapor layer, and there's got life in it. And that's what came up from my scan, which I found to be quite interesting. But I thought I'd chuck it in there. So, moving on. Here we have another Ammonia World, and this one actually has rings again. So it just seems to be that you know, once you see something once, you seem to come across it another couple of times, and then you move on, and then you don't see it again for ages. Like, I haven't actually come across any Earth likes this week at all, like not a single one, which is a bit odd. But yeah, so not a single Earth like this week, but a couple of Ammonia Worlds, which is strange when you think about it. Now, moving on, here we go. So another ammonia-based water world, because why not? They all seem to come up all over the place. And as I said, I seem to have found a lot of Ammonia Worlds this week. Now, I kind of want to divert attention to the backdrop, the galactic plane you can see there. This planet here is actually reasonably close to its star, so the galactic backdrop isn't as strong visually. And what you find is that the further you get from a parent star in a system, the more you can see, especially in the background. And that's a bit like when you're in a city and then you go into the country, you can see more stars in the sky. Exactly the same kind of thing. Light pollution, typically what you call it. But something I'm gaining a bit more of an appreciation for as I explore more is rings and planets with rings. In particular, this one I really like the look of because of the colour palette, and you don't see many greens and blues in rings like this. Especially there's a brown ring in there as well. So all those different layers of rings, you can only imagine what it would be like if a resource extraction site was in there and you're dogfighting between ice rings, and potentially, you think about it, you could directly fly straight into rock rings. I mean, would there be a slow changeover? Would there be a straight stop? That's something I'd be interested to know. If anyone's come across that as well, again, leave me a comment, let me know. So moving on, we've got another planet with rings. And this one is a high metal content world with ice rings around it, so you can only assume that it's still a forming planet, or maybe it's a forming planet, I don't know. A lot of volcanic activity on it, and over time it would maybe pull those rings in, those ice rings, and form into an Earth-like. That'd be something pretty cool to see. Now, here we have two twin stars that are very, very similar in size. I decided I'd try and fly between them, because I've done that before. You know, you see two stars, what are you going to do? You're going to fly between them. And something that you don't get to see when you're in external view is what is actually happening to your ship at the time. And it looks a little something like this. Yeah, so that didn't go according to plan at all. I'm not going to put in the rest of my escape, but obviously I did escape, and after being this far out, it was a bit of a shock. But in my next system I saw another twin set of planets, and I do love the twin set of planets. I can only imagine what it would be like to be standing on one when the other one rose in the morning. Pretty incredible stuff. But we're just going to round this video off. So once again, guys, I want to thank everyone for watching and staying with me through my journey. I'm not done yet. This week I will get to Sagittarius A, and that'll be an exciting moment, and obviously I'll be doing lots of footage on that. And remember, guys, you can add me in game, like and subscribe for more content. There's lots more coming soon. And remember, when I get back to the bubble, I'm going to want to do some combat, guys, and I expect to see some of you there. Thanks for watching.